Hey everyone, Zenguardian here, and today I wanted to go over my initial thoughts and reaction to Bungie's recently live-streamed Age of Triumph reveal. Now most of you know Age of Triumph, it is the next live update and actually the final live update for Destiny 1 leading into Destiny 2. It goes live March 28th, so that's at the end of this month after 3 live streams, this being the first with 2 more to follow in the following Wednesdays. And there's actually a lot to go over and talk about, but this video isn't going to be breaking down everything we saw or analyzing or anything like that. It's just going to be my initial reactions and thoughts to the Age of Triumph reveal stream. So if you do enjoy this kind of content, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up. And let's get right into it. So right off the back, they showed off this record book, which is the biggest record book that Destiny has ever had. We have had a few in the past, and it is a really cool idea and a fun way to kind of keep track of your own progress, as well as Bungie keeping track of the things that we do. Now, this record book, like most others, is account based. So the way that it works is when you first get your hands on it, there are already going to be some things that you're able to unlock based on some of the things that you've already done. So if you're someone who, say, completed Vault of Glass within the first 3 months of release of Destiny in 2014, there's a node for you there. If you're someone who already has rank 25 New Monarchy or Future War Cult, there's a node for you there. So there are things that, again, your account has already covered for you if you've been playing this game for 3 years. And one thing that Bungie wanted to stress, especially in this live stream, was how this is a record book for all kinds of Guardians. Even though some of us veterans that have been playing since year one and have done so many things and completed so many acts and have been there through all the moments of triumph, even though there are so many things that we've done, there are things for all kinds of different Guardians. There are things for the collectors, there are things for the Trials of Osiris guys, the raiders, the people that play a lot of strikes. So there is definitely something for everyone here, and it was really interesting to see just how much diversity really is in this game. Like seeing things like, people that collect ships. Like for me personally, that is something that I've just never done. That is just something I've never been interested in doing, but there is an entire community for that. Simple things like having all of the challenge emblems, stuff like that. Like that's something for me. Again, I'm a Trials of Osiris guy. I do a lot more of the PvP stuff, especially and specifically Trials, which there is actually a page for that as well. But for me, having all the challenge mode emblems is just something that I have never done. So I think that that's really cool for everybody that has, gone in there and gotten all those things and done all those things. The collectors, the faction people that have rank 25 across the board, Future War Cult, New Monarchy, Cryptarch, Vanguard, all of it. And it's just crazy to see how many different communities have been made within the game in general. And I think the record book shows that side of this game more. And I think that that's really cool. There are 13 pages in total. And basically it looks like the rewards are mainly going to be record book EXP and emblems. It doesn't look like there's any physical items tied to this record book like there have been in the past. So it looks like there are going to be a lot of emblems here. Now, one really cool thing about this record book is that there are 7 tiers of EXP. And as you level up the record book itself, you'll unlock different emblems up to 6. So up to level 6, you'll unlock a brand new emblem. The 6th one, I believe, is the Age of Triumph crest, which kind of just symbolizes like, hey, you've been here since day one. You've played a lot of Destiny. You've unlocked a lot of this book and nodes. And so a lot of people are going to be able to get that emblem, and that's really cool. But the 7th level is actually a token that you redeem on Bungie.net in the store for a specialized t-shirt that you can actually get your gamer tag, be it PSN or Xbox Live, engraved on the side. And I think that that's really cool. So say you're someone who isn't playing Destiny, you don't see a reason to go back to the old raids, which we'll get to in a minute. You don't see a reason to play any more Trials. You don't see a reason to do any more feats because maybe you've done it all. Maybe you're just waiting for Destiny 2. Maybe you're taking a break. It gives that person the ability to say, well, hey, I've completed a lot of this record book. I've done a lot of these different things. I do want to have an in real life item that shows me and other Guardians that I've completed or played a lot of this game and been a part of this community. And I think that that's really cool because for me, like I said, I'm a Trials guy, so unless there's a lot of big Trials changes and stuff like that, I'm not super interested in going back and grinding and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of Vault of Glass and King's Fall and all that stuff with my buddies when they return, but I'm not going to, you know, grind it out heavy like that. But I will definitely be trying to seek out getting this record book to level 7, mainly because I want that in real life representation of the game that I play, the game that I love, and the community that I've been a part of. And that way, anytime that you go to PAX, anytime you go to E3, which is now, you know, kind of a public event, or Guardian Con, or any of those things that you go to, you can rock this shirt. It has your gamer tag on it. You know, people will recognize you, other Guardians will recognize you, and I think that that's a really, really, really cool thing. And I'm glad to see Bungie make something like that. Now, you still will actually have to pay for this shirt, but it will be reasonable, and it will be something that is a representation of yourself. So I would say for anybody that necessarily, you know, maybe you have been here since year 1, maybe you have grind and beat the Vault of Glass 100 times, been to the Lighthouse 100 times, all of those things, I would say at least take a peek at the book and see how far you can get before you have to continue the grind. But that level 7 token for that, I think is a really, really cool way to just showcase off everything that you've done in the game in real life. So for me, that's going to be something that I really dedicate myself to and get my hands on, and we'll most likely do an unboxing video or something like that when I get it, so you guys can look out for that. Now, the next thing that Bungie showed off was, of course, the old raids returning. Not just Vault of Glass, but every raid that has been released in this game will be back and will have a relevant light level of light 390, which is basically hard mode Wrath of the Machine. So it's going to be pretty challenging. Now, they're not going to be upgrading our light levels. It's going to remain 400, which I think is a very smart move. Bungie put it in words of they don't want to drag that chain any longer. They want the rewards to feel rewarding, and they want you to be able to basically get those rewards, get them at the light you want them, and equip them instantly, which I think is a very smart move. I don't see the need at this point in the game to really up the light level anymore. Yes, there will be some new activities. Yes, there will be some more loot to get, but I don't really see the need in having all of this loot and then having to grind it over and over and over again for infusion fuel. I would rather already be light 400, get a 400 Vault of Glass chest piece, get a 400 King's Fall weapon, than to have to get those weapons and then use them as infusion fuel to upgrade them and stuff like that. I would just prefer to already get it at 400. So it makes a lot of sense, especially that this game is at the very end of its life cycle. Is there really any need to bump the light level up from 400 to say 430 or 450? I don't really see the need. I'm sure some people would rather have that light bump, and that makes perfect sense. I mean, you want something more to grind for, but in the end, I think I would rather just get the Vault of Glass weapons and all that stuff and just be able to equip it instantly and use those across the board already at light 400. And for those that are at that 398, 399 level and they're just looking for that last piece of armor, well, now there's going to be a ton more activities and a bunch of new ways for you to be able to get that stuff, and so it will make it a lot easier for those people. And actually for me, I'm 400 on one character but 399 on the other two, and I think at this point it's only a ghost that's doing that, so it'll make it a lot easier for me to go in, grind some activities, get this loot, and be able to instantly equip it and have that max level guardian. So I'm really excited about that, and honestly I think that that's a smart move that Bungie decided to go with. Age of Triumph will be the last thing that this game has as far as any form of new content or any form of an update leading into Destiny 2. Leaving the light at 400, having all these activities all up and ready to go, I think is a great move. The next thing that they talked about is some of the tweaks that they're going to be making to the loot tables and making things just a little bit more generous, and also changing up some of the weapons and gear that we get out of these old raids. So they didn't go into any specific details. Those will be coming down the line in reveals, but there will be some changes. They did say that if you were one of those people, or you are one of those people that have, say, an entire Vault of Glass set or an entire Crota's End set sitting in your vault, those will essentially be relics, and there will be new armor and new things to acquire that has ornaments and some other cool things. So those things will remain relics, and you'll basically still have to go and get the new stuff. So I'm happy about that, as long as they make it so that it still looks as cool as it is, and you know, you can have that Crota's End Warlock helmet. You guys know how sick that helmet was. That'll be returning, and as long as those things look the same way but have these new ornaments, like, I'm thinking in my head, how cool would it be to have some Vault of Glass ornaments? What would those look like? How would they glow? How would they change your armor? It's crazy to think about. So I'm actually really excited about that. Of course, they mentioned year 3 Vex Mythoclast, so that's 100% 100% coming back, which most likely means that the Crux of Crota and the Necrochasm will be coming back. So overall, all of those things are cool, and I'm really glad that Bungie decided to do this now, you know, make everything relevant. They also threw in that Prison of Elders will be relevant, you know, making everything relevant and having it so that everyone can kind of just go for what they want to go for, complete the parts of the book that they want to complete, and just being recognized for that. One thing that they did want to touch on towards the end of the stream was that Destiny 1 is going nowhere. So basically, to answer the question ahead of time of whether Destiny 1 will remain online after Destiny 2 goes live, they made sure to give us a concrete confirmation that Destiny 1 will remain online for the foreseeable future. Everything that we're doing now isn't all in vain. As we move into Destiny 2, Destiny 1 will still have a living, breathing lifespan. So that is a pretty cool thing. I don't know how much Destiny 1 I'll be playing when Destiny 2 is released, but it's pretty cool that Bungie will still keep supporting the game and keep supporting the players that are on this platform. Now, the next thing that they talked about was the weekly stuff and how that'll be changing. Apparently, there's going to be a weekly rotating challenge or featured raid challenge that will basically be the hardest activities that Bungie has ever created. It basically is a level 390 version of the raid with all of the challenges active at once. So it makes it so that per week there will be a new featured raid challenge, and you'll have all of the challenge modes active within that raid, and that's how you'll be able to get those ornaments for this new gear. It's a pretty cool system that they'll be going more in depth with next week with the weekly ritual stream, so you can tune into that next Wednesday. But it looks like that's going to be kind of the new weekly rotation. There's going to be some more added nodes there that they didn't talk about, but that's going to be something that happens every single week. Week 1 will be Crota's End with the brand new challenge modes. Following that will be Vault of Glass, and then after that King's Fall, and then finally Wrath of the Machine. So they're going to be including all of them. So if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily like Vault of Glass or you don't like King's Fall, there will be something there for you in the following weeks. And again, that'll be how you get those ornaments. So you'll need to look out for those challenges every week on that rotating basis. And honestly, that is probably the coolest thing for me that came out of this whole reveal stream, because that really gives those people a reason to look out for their favorite raid, grind it all week, be able to get those new ornaments and deck your Guardian out in that fresh new raid gear. And I think that's pretty cool, honestly. For some of us, the raids, and even with one challenge, they're not super difficult and they don't last as long as you may like. Now with Vault of Glass, with more challenges and all of them active, it's just going to be insane. So I'm really happy about that announcement. Now to wrap it up, Age of Triumph is something that I think everybody's going to find a level of enjoyment in. If you're a Trials of Osiris Guardian, there's something for you there. If you're a raider, there's definitely stuff for you there. If you're a person that likes to chill and play strikes, there's something there for you. There's just a little bit of everything in this update. And this is just the overall reveal. There are still things that we're going to be seeing, like the sandbox update that's coming, again, these weekly rituals. So there's even more added to this, but I think what they've done here is exactly what they set out to do, and it's to celebrate every different type of person that plays this game and kind of bring them all back for that last hurrah before we enter Destiny 2. Now, is there any new content in this? No, there isn't anything new. We're not going through any new stories. We're not doing anything that we haven't already done before, but just that refresh and that update and that fresh coat of paint over everything that we knew, I think is something that this game definitely needed. It will, at the very least, strike a fresh breath of air into this game that I think is 100% needed at this stage. Will I be coming back? Yes. Will I be coming back and grinding every single thing until there is nothing left to grind? No. Am I going to complete the record book 100%? No. I'm going to do what I have been passionate about since the start of the game, get all of those things out of the way, complete as much of the book as I can to be able to get my shirt, and then I'm probably going to wrap the ribbon up on this and be all set until Destiny 2. Now that's just me. For you collectors out there, for you people that want to get all the faction rep, for you people that want to just grind all of the record books, and there's even a note in there for all of the grimoire, for those people, there is plenty for you to do. There is well over 300 hours of content for you to dive into to complete this book, and that's a really, really big statement. That's not to be taken lightly. The grind in this book alone, to be able to complete everything 100%, That is something super special. You won't necessarily be rewarded for that 100% book because it looks like the 7th tier is kind of the final thing that you'll get, or the final reward tier for anyone that wants to complete this book, and that does not take 100% completion of this book. I think if that's something that you want to dive into and do, that's there as always. So I'm glad that Bungie has made this decision. I'm happy and excited for this update. It'll definitely bring me back to Destiny and definitely have me finish up on some of the things that I want to finish up on, and I think that that's the overall goal of this whole thing. So let me know down below how you guys feel about this. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of details to go into. What kind of things are you looking forward to? Is Vault of Glass on your top of the list? Have you ever played the Vault of Glass? Is this going to be your first hoorah into those raids? If you're someone who is brand new from Rise of Iron, are you excited to go back and experience 3 more raids on top of the Wrath of the Machine? There's just so much to actually think that is actually going to be here, even so much more to talk about. So you guys know you'll hear about all of it on this channel, so make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on. I've already got a couple cool video ideas in mind for when this content actually drops, so look out for those. But hit this video with a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know how you feel about all of this. Don't be afraid to write books. I read every comment and I reply to almost everyone as well. Now is also a good time to give a shout out to my Xbox One club. We're still active in there. There are still people in there talking every day, meeting up and playing trials, meeting up and doing raids. And now that we're gonna have all this extra content, you know people are gonna be in there going crazy, playing together and having a good time and meeting up and playing Vault of Glass and Crota's End. And I'll definitely be in there looking for some of you guys to help with Vault of Glass completions, to help with King's Fall, to play trials with, and all of that. So make sure you guys head over to my gamer tag, follow my club, ask for an invitation. I'll always accept, and follow me on Xbox as well, because that's a good way for you guys to know when I'm going to be doing some runs with you guys and all that. So as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's been ZG. I'm out.